Hey there, everybody on YouTube land. It's Lord Bear 90, and I apparently forgot to put the van in park or in reverse. I'm an idiot. Yeah, I'm gonna actually be doing a little bit of a driving video for you guys tonight. Assuming I can get out of here without hitting that mailbox. I'm actually heading back to my dad's house. For what will be one of the final times of the year, because I have finally got myself a brand new place to live. Yay! I'm actually very, very excited right now. I am going to be moving in with a really close friend of mine and his wife. We're going to all be roommates together. And I'm going to have my own bedroom, obviously. I'm going to have my own bathroom. And we're basically going to be splitting the rent 3 ways. Now, I'm not going to say how much how much that's all going to cost and everything, because that's really none of anybody's business but my own. But anyway, I just wanted to get that little bit of information up out of the way, because I want to spend the next 10 or so minutes of this video, probably even longer, depends on how long I talk, basically of how what my thoughts are so far of RWBY Volume 4. Now, for anyone who is familiar with the series, as most people watching this probably are by now, RWBY is in its 4th volume. And Volume 4 is already almost over, because Episode 10 just aired this past weekend. So yeah, we're getting to the very nitty gritty of the final episodes of the 4th season or volume, whatever. But anyway, it's the Episode 10. I apologize for my stutters. I'm actually so excited about the fact that I'm going to be moving into my own apartment pretty soon. So I apologize if my stutters are really prominent in this video. But anyway, Episode 10 of Volume 4 was called Kuroyuri, which is the hometown of Lyren and technically Nora Valkyrie, who, as we all know, are very close friends since the first 2 episodes of RWBY that they actually appeared, because they actually didn't appear until the 2nd episode. And up until recently, we knew that they had been friends for a long time. We just didn't know where they came from, how they met, or how long they had been friends. But in this episode, we got to go back into the past a little bit, where Lyren, or Ren as everybody calls him, was, I want to say, maybe about 7 years old, maybe 8 years old. I'm actually not really sure. But we know that he's a young kid at this point. And turn your high beams down, please. Thank you. You're probably going to laugh at me for that. But anyway, we see him as a young boy in the town of Kuroyuri, which is, obviously his hometown. And he comes across this group of bullies picking on a redheaded girl that he had never met before. They're picking on her because she's wearing very raggedy clothes, holding what looks like a very old and staley piece of bread in her arms, or a loaf of bread rather. And basically they're making fun of her because of the way she's dressed and the fact that she's holding a very dirty loaf of bread in her arms. And if you heard anything that sounded like a very ding-a-ding-ding sound, that's my guitar. I got it leaning against the strings, and they tried to break just now. I'm hoping that none of them broke. Anyway, now that that little distraction is over, yeah, the kids are basically picking on Nora. So she's very, very scared, very shy, hardly says a word, which is not at all like the Nora we know today, by no stretch of the imagination. But anyway, and at first we think that Ren is gonna, he's gonna do something. He's gonna be the heroic little boy that stands up against this group of bullies and saves the girl. But instead, at first that's what he tries to do. He says, leave her alone, or something like that. I've only watched the episode once, so my memory is going to be a little bit fuzzy. And they start picking on him, I think, if memory serves. I apologize if I like I said, my memory's a little fuzzy. I only watched the episode once. But yeah, he tries to stand up for her, and it doesn't really work too very well. And then we see his mother. We see Ren's mom talking to him. Or no, Ren's mom is talking to him before he sees the bullies picking on Nora. Talking about how his father is coming home from the last hunt that they just went on. And he wants to go and try to find something special, to buy something special to give to his dad when he gets home. And while he's searching for a gift to get him, that's when he sees the bullies picking on Nora, and he tries to help her out, and it doesn't end too well for him. And his father comes home. And as the bullies run off, the first thing his dad says to him is, "Are you going to run away like the others?" Or something along those lines. I can't really remember. But yeah. They basically reunite together. They're spending a little bit of time together as father and son. And later that night, Ren is lying in bed asleep. And then all of a sudden, we hear a loud boom. Like a loud, almost like an explosion kind of a sound. And then you hear, then the next thing you see is a bunch of wild Grimm attacking the village. And then we see Ren's mom bursting into his room, picking him up, running through the house, all kind of chaos. Ren's dad at this point is nowhere to be seen. He's already, run out to try to save the village, try to protect the village. And while all of this chaos is going on, Ren is freaking out. He doesn't know what's going on. He doesn't know what to do. His mom tries to act calm and collected, and as she sets him down on the floor and says, "It's going to be okay, everything will be all right," the second she says "all right," the roof collapses on top of her, with Ren watching, with Ren sitting there and watching. He watches his mother die literally right in front of him. And I can only imagine how traumatizing that was for the kid. And not only that, but he basically also had to witness his dad dying, because after that, he was outside, he found his dad, or his dad came in and found him, because I think he actually passed out for a minute. Yeah, that's right, he passed out, and his dad came back in the house, he had him on his back, on his shoulders, where they're running. We hear all kinds of chaos, everybody's screaming, buildings are burning to the ground, Grimm are everywhere, and then we see the silhouette of the large boss Grimm that Ren hinted to in the second episode of Volume 4. Or maybe it was the third episode. At this point, I can't really remember. But it's the one Grimm that he hinted to that destroyed Kuroyuri. We don't actually see the Grimm, but we see its silhouette. And from what we have seen, based on the silhouette, it's going to be a massive, giant MF at this point. But yeah, basically, Ren's dad recognizes that he's not going to survive, so he tells Ren to run where it's safe so that he can survive and live on. And as Ren is running away, he looks back and he sees his dad firing off the remaining arrows that he has in his backpack in a very feeble attempt at stopping the beast from doing any further damage. He knows that it's not going to stop the beast. He just knows that it's going to slow him down enough for Ren to get out of there. And then that's when Ren gets, he hides under another house, and then that's when he sees Nora is also hiding under there. She's in a panic. She doesn't know what to do. She's scared, and that's the first time she actually says anything, is that she's scared. Which, again, is not the Nora we know today. She's not afraid of anything. In fact, she hardly ever shuts up. But this is Nora when she was a little girl. Very little girl. But yeah. And by the way, I apologize for screaming through most of this video. I have absolutely no idea how loud my van is in this video, so I'm trying to speak over the engine. So if I come across as screaming and yelling to you guys, I do sincerely apologize. But yeah, Ren, in the heat of the moment, he looks around trying to find something, and he finds this little wooden hammer that is just laying in the middle of the street. He runs out from under the house, grabs it, runs back under the house, and gives it to Nora and says, "Let's go. Follow me, and you will be okay." And basically that's how it went. And then we jump back to Nora and Ren as their present selves as they get to the top of the mountain, trying to find their way to Mistral. And then they find the inside of a cave where a lot of weapons are scattered everywhere, what looks like blood everywhere, and a flag from another village that's miles away from where they are. As a matter of fact, the flag is from Oniyuri, the last village in Mistral to try to expand beyond the kingdom. And they run out to the other side of the cave, where it's basically an open cave from one side to the other, from one side of the mountain to the other. They run out to the other side of the mountain, and they don't show it, but we hear the one Grimm that Ren hinted to basically showing up as both Nora and Ren stand on the hill, on the top of the cliff, both saying, "Oh no," in that we are doomed kind of tone. And that's pretty much where the episode left off. Now, I didn't bring up the actual opening scene with Oscar as he's leaving the barn, mostly because I wanted to more focus on, the main story of the episode. Now, my thoughts and opinions on Oscar and the theories going around that he's the new Fall Maiden or whatever, I don't dismiss the theory, but I also don't support it, if that makes any sense to you guys. I'm the kind of person that I want to look at all the theories from all points of view and, basically weed out the ones that sound the most probable, the ones that actually make the most sense, that I could actually see happening as the story progresses. But anyway, I just wanted to, make this little video. So, but yeah, this is Lord Bear 90 signing off for now.